Hi all, this is Simona Rich. I just finished eating lamb liver. I wanted to show it to you. But the lady that I'm renting this place from, I'm renting a room only, came so I couldn't make video because I'm in the kitchen. But I'm still eating yogurt and I don't know how it's called, baguette? I forgot. Croissant. I love croissants. And I'm drinking freshly squeezed orange juice. I love orange juice. So whilst I'm eating, I thought I will make this video. And it's about why do people like cities? So disappointing. After living on my own land for a few months, I think I stayed there now for 2 months. I still got used to fresh air and just peace and quiet. I love it. And when I came here, there are so many cars. I mean, it's crazy. And it's so highly polluted because of the cars, and then people go and smoke and leave that poison behind them. So they are already worsening their health every day because of that terrible pollution from cars, and then they quicken their death by smoking and poisoning others with that smoke. It's very sad. I don't think I will ever feel like I'm part of humanity because I just don't understand humans. Sometimes I just don't get why they do the things that they do, slowly killing themselves. Seeing others dying from smoking and then doing the same thing. I was thinking today about why people live in cities when it's cheaper and more healthy to live in villages. And I think it's a lot to do with ego, that they think that they live like in a more sophisticated manner, doing the stuff that people don't do in cities, particular jobs. But then they have to spend all their lives in conditions that are so much worse because they might live in some city, the apartment that looks beautiful, but they breathe bad air and they're always stressed in their jobs. For me, it makes more sense to live a life that is peaceful somewhere in village, and you have to earn so little to stay in place like a village, and people are nice, they're not out of touch with nature, because when you live in cities, many people, they become kind of crazy because they're out of touch with the nature, and they read all the time all sorts of books, and then they are so out of touch with what is. That's what I'm noticing about city people. But when you speak to people who lived in villages all the time, they are so down to earth. They're very healthy mentally. That's what I noticed. They are so much more healthy than any city psychologist that I've ever met. They are just so much healthier, and it's just good for the mind to stay among such people. And it's so much cheaper to live in villages. It's so much healthier. If you have your own farm, you eat healthy food. And the money that I spend for good food here, it's just so much. Whilst if I would stay in cities, I could buy much better quality products from my neighbors. And it's so cheaper, so much cheaper. So I think that people who live in cities definitely lose out. And even when you see people who have like the second generation growing up in cities, So many of them are mentally unhealthy, and physically they don't look healthy either, because they grew up in unnatural conditions. Already parents are damaged by living in cities because of their natural life, and then children inherit those already genetic deficiencies, and they just deteriorate further. And when I see some children that are already kind of almost disabled, and I'm kind of afraid to think about their children, what kind of children they will have. I find city life is to be a con, you are promised such, like, the way that even people started living in cities, they were seduced by wealth and opportunities in cities. So they kind of, because of the ego, it appealed to the ego, so they left their families, some of the people, men usually, to start life in cities, and they had to be always exposed to terrible pollution, especially in the past, like in London. The city used to be like death sentence because of the high pollution, and then they were exposed to terrible work conditions just for the promise of cash. So, and some people sold their lands to move to pursue this dream, and I don't think it's worth it. I think that living in villages gives you much better quality of life. So I'm really looking forward to my travel to India, because I'm going to stay in beautiful surroundings in village places, and also I'm going to Nepal with my boyfriend when he finishes his work. So I'm looking forward to that. I really miss nature. I'm just not a city person. I feel so out of touch. When I'm here, I just feel I don't belong here. Just feel so cold. I don't know. People here are motivated by money, like most city people, because it's expensive to live here. So naturally people's minds circle about money. And especially when you go to shopping centers in cities, I just feel that not only me, but other people that I talk to, they feel like there is that vibration that is so material and so empty. People go to spend their hard-earned money on stuff, and then they are still unhappy. So I don't belong here. I don't like cities in general. So I'm looking forward to my travel to India. And I don't know when I come back to Lithuania, but maybe soon, I don't know. But I will wait till the winter finishes, and when it gets warmer, maybe I will come back to have someone dig the well, and hopefully save enough for the extension of the house, and so that I'm able to invite you, my readers, to stay there also. So that's all I wanted to share with you. This is just a small personal update about how I feel in this place and in cities in general. And I think that some of you will have the same kind of thoughts about it. So if you wish to share what you think about city living versus village living, if you did live in a village also, then please do so in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Take care.